Presidential Towers, which is this fucking pretentious co-op building on the Upper West Side between West End Avenue and Riverside Boulevard on West 70th Street. And we've been receiving racist taunts. We're over here only trying to save public housing. And someone upstairs out their window threw some kind of mysterious liquid over there trying to wet us. Nastiness, the amount of bitter and hostility, the kind of bitterness and hostility that we're receiving here outside of Jerry Nadler's co-op building at 315 West 70th Street. It's called the Presidential Towers. We're here to save public housing. Unfortunately, the Democrats, the way they do us, are trying to sell out public housing. And we're one of the few people who are independent, and we can see through the truth. We can see through the truth and the lies of the Democratic Party. They want to sell out public housing with RAD, PACT, and the Preservation Trust, which we refer to as the Plantation Trust. It's a racist system that's going to keep people segregated and in poverty. And it's not the answer. It's not the answer. Public housing is a strategic public asset that should remain in the public sector. And we're out here, our demand is that Congress update and pass H.R. 307, which is the NYCHA funding bill. It's a national public housing funding bill written and sponsored by Representative Nydia Velázquez, who is the Dean of the Puerto Rican Caucus, I believe, in Congress now. This bill would provide public housing authorities across the nation with the necessary capital funding to make long-term repairs so that we don't have to resort to RAD, PACT, and the Plantation Trust. These otherwise neoliberal funding mechanisms, which I'm referring to as RAD, PACT, and the Plantation Trust, are going to sell out public housing. It's going to sell out public housing. And in New York, what that looks like is they're going to demolish public housing in Chelsea, in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan. And they're going to hand over the properties to Stephen Ross, who already has abused the tax system in order to pump up the profits of the related companies. The related companies is basically a ghost corporation. The related companies is a ghost corporation. It's a zombie corporation. It wouldn't be solvent but for these, tax breaks and government funding and government handouts. You want to talk about the queen of welfare? That person is Stephen Ross. He's the queen of welfare. He's taking on NYCHA public housing and he's monetizing it for his own personal profit. That's not what public housing was designed. That's not what public housing was designed for. That's not what public housing was designed for. Public housing was designed and created because the government admitted it had a responsibility to create low-cost housing for people with low and fixed incomes, because the government admitted during the last housing crisis, which was the Great Depression, the government admitted that the private sector economy would never create low-cost housing for people earning low and small and fixed incomes. And nothing has changed. We're in another housing crisis in New York City, and the free market system cannot create low-cost housing. It won't. It's only going to create luxury housing, just like where Jerry Nadler lives, in the Presidential Towers. Talk about pretentiousness. He wants to, this is like him trying to, this is him projecting about himself. He wants to fly high. At the same time, he's going to rip everybody off. And we're here on Juneteenth to remind the Democratic Party that they were supposed to stand for the end of racism. And unfortunately, because of the duopoly and because of corruption in the Democratic Party, the Democrats stand for racism. That's why we're here on Juneteenth.